following announcement has been paid for by the Celtic World Order.
Hello there, afternoon. Welcome back to Celtic World Order podcast. I'm as always Steve O'Matt, joined by Joe Donnelly for a wee half-time reaction. And I think if you watched us in the preview show before earlier this morning, we were expecting it to be tight. We're expecting the changes to maybe affect us. Were we expecting a 2-0 half-time scoreline to Rangers? The answer's absolutely no. 100%. One that's taking a lot of people by shock, but I think as well, if you want to be a bit more level-headed and objective about it, it's a stark reminder that regardless of where you think you are in terms of being ahead, on, off the field and all that kind of stuff, nothing is guaranteed when it comes to these fixtures. We're going to get through the lack thereof action, if you want to call it that, and what exactly has went wrong. Never shying away from the big sort of topics here at CWO. Win, lose or draw, we cover it. Let us know what you think yet. Before we do, welcome back. If you like the channel, get a wee thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Extend the channel's reach. Let's just get right into it because we are limited in time here at half-time. But, Joe, let me tell you right now, here's where I am. I came on the preview show, the show the other night as well, and I said categorically that, in my opinion, if Celtic cannot beat this Rangers team, who have been in disarray in domestic forum, have a makeshift management team, which, to be honest, is absolutely laughable from achievement standpoints, and 120 minutes and at home, then it is quite frankly embarrassing. I'm not changing that opinion. I never will change that opinion. At this moment in time, I'll say right now, I am absolutely ashamed of every single player on that pitch and the manager, because quite frankly, this is one of the softest, most weak, limp performances from Celtic in a long time. We went down 3-0.
Horrific.
We went down 3-0, mate, at Ibrox. We says, that'll never happen. Celtic didn't turn up more that. And it was tough in the cup final, but we got there.
Yep.
I just want to know, what was the excuses going to be here? Because I always shoot for the hip. I don't care.
There's no excuse.
Excuses here. Celtic haven't turned up, this and that. There is no excuses. Take comfort in whatever you want to do to make this scoreline easier on your conscience. The fact is, let me say it in black and white terms, Celtic are fucking shite. Absolutely horse. They deserve nothing. And at this moment in time, they will lucky scratch a draw, let alone win. Joe,
can we come back from a 2-0 deficit? When has it happened to us in the past that we have come back for it? Not very often. So look what's fucking happening. They are picking our team apart. Absolutely picking the team apart. Yep. And dare I say it, our best player on the pitch today, Navrosky. Who could have seen that coming, first of all? And second of all, what the hell? How can that be your best player right now? Now, right at the end there, Jota's picking it up a bit. But
aye. Well, I mean, let's look at it. See the first 3 minutes. Obviously, they go ahead. But the opening stages of the game, Celtic are camped out. They're pinned back down the left-hand side. Throw after throw after throw, couple of corners, and they get a delivery into the box. Raskin, one of the smallest guys in the pitch, is there. It's actually quite a good header, to be fair to him. I think he's probably just trying to put it back in the area across the face of goal, but it manages to sneak in. And that's pretty much the way for the entire first half. Now, like, we're sitting here and folk don't like, don't be negative, not right. No, let's be negative, because I'm sitting there and I'm watching that. In my opinion, we know the bench is light and everything else in between, but we'll always want to sit and talk and say we've got the better players and better quality and they're this and they're that. And I always say, regardless of what you think of Rangers, there is threats here. Yep. See right now, see if you never knew anything about Celtic or Celtic Park or that, you'd think the Rangers were a home team. You think Rangers 100%. Were the team that had the cup in the bag and were top of the league by 16 points. That is what you would think.
You'd think that they'd be the one in the Champions League, everything like that, the ones that have taken down the big teams, the ones that are 16 points ahead. That's who you think this Rangers are, So it's just diabolical, absolutely diabolical. Now, that was something I was going to come on to, Alan. Is it Kalmak's presence in the midfield that's missing? Maybe, but we should be way above that, especially for the fact that we've always played just as well, if not better, without Kalmak as well. So There's no excuse from my book. Absolutely no
No,
excuse.
no.
Casper
That's
making some really dodgy calls and everything as well. And
put it
this,
lightly, aye.
mate, this pass back and crap. I keep saying it. I say it almost every time we're on here. It's
Mm-hmm.
killing us again. Look how many sloppy pass backs we've done, and Czerny's picked it up, or Raskin's picked it up, or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting beyond a joke.
Yeah, the thing is I'm having a wee look through the notes that I've got there for the first half, and it's basically just stacked full of Rangers did this, Rangers did that, and that's the reality. As I says, now obviously I'd be good to their opinion. Obviously, bad lads saying this. It's easy, I suppose, to pin it on. Hatate gives away the foul. I think the reality is take your pick of who you want to blame,
Yeah,
because this is the thing.
because there's 10 players on the pitch that you
Well,
can.
honesty is a currency on here that we are more than happy to deal in and exclusively deal in. And we've no shame in doing it. You know, people might say, I'm sure there might be some hiding behind the scenes Rangers fans maybe watching this and lapping up, but that's fine. I
Yeah,
says we always be objective. We'll give credit where it's due, and we'll slate Celtic when it's deserved, and it's completely
yeah,
deserved. And I've sat here and says people find excuses, reasons to pinpoint this player did that, they did that, they've not pulled their weight. The reality is every single player on that pitch for Celtic has been bullied,
yep.
has been taken out the game, negated any level of threat. They have been complete and utterly bossed in their own back
Mhm.
garden, and it should be absolutely shameful.
Yep.
Complete and utter. There's no
Some of
other
them
way.
have even been
You'll hear this
outpaced.
quite a lot during this wee 15 minutes. Shameful,
Hmm.
embarrassing, strong words, but deserved.
Yep.
Celtic deserve absolutely nothing out of this game right now.
No.
And as much as I don't want to say it, there's a higher chance of this game being 4-0 to Rangers than there is
Hmm.
Celtic bringing it back and winning 3-2 or scraping a draw.
Yep.
And every single one of those players getting into that dressing room at half time should be having their heads held and bowed down. The manager needs to earn his crust. A lot of people are saying Brendan's been found out here. Big Dom, we can't defend the set pieces. Before that, he
Yeah.
says he's been found out. The reality is here, Rangers have sort of mixed things up. They've went heavy at the back. They've went with that 5. They've put in 3 guys. I think when you actually look at it, you'd be mistaken if you'd forgot that what's his face, the sleepy lion was on the pitch, because it's
Right.
only been Diamandi and Raskin. They've
Yep.
essentially, for what I've been watching, they've played a midfield with 2 bodies in it because there's been nothing
Mhm.
else happening there, and they've just
No.
cruised that. Engels, McCowan, Hatate look disjointed. There's nothing really happening there. All the
Yeah.
things that we've done is completely lost on them.
The passing between them has been horrific and everything as well. Now Hatate's actually managed to pull out a good couple of well pointed passes, but the in terms of list of who's been performing the best, Vrosky's right at the top. Then under that,
Mm-hmm.
pretty far away though, would be Alistair Johnston. He's
Yeah,
let a couple
yeah.
go, but his passing forward has been accurate as hell. If we need that, then fair enough, because it looks like we're desperate for it at the minute.
Mhm.
And Kuhn has
So
just been all over the
there's some
shop.
comments coming in here. See this, and I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, Jim, and I appreciate that you're a well seasoned veteran of supporting the team. I don't buy into this, and I'm just going to bring that up. See this, we're beginning to sound like them. See this, I'm sorry, and this is just I'm nearly 40 years of age, so I've well experienced enough. I've seen good, bad, and different with Celtic. Maybe not as much as yourself, of course. Clearly not as much as yourself, but teams deserve criticism. There is nothing wrong with calling out poor performances when it's right in front of your eyes. Now, we always sing we don't care if we win, lose, or draw. I hate to break this to you all. I do. I care, right? You can't win them all. You can't. But I do care if we lose. I do care if we draw. And I certainly care if we win. So these are just coverall and it's airy-fairy and, wishy-washy.
Right.
The reality is, what, you're not allowed to criticise your team because that's what they do. No, let's do it.
No,
Because,
the way I look at it is that, see, if you care that,
yeah, we're criticising, but we're doing it because we care. You've
aye,
got to commit it. You want to strive for improvement. You want to strive to get the best version of the team on there. You want to see your team succeed. If we just sat here, closed our eyes, and went, it's fine, these things happen, don't worry, and everything's perfect, then that's quite a pathetic existence as a supporter. I think you've got to call it as it's been found. And today, yes, the harsh language of criticism will continue to come, and I can see it in the comments. People are completely and utterly disgusted. Brad's pointing out there is a lot where it's been quite physical. I'm quite surprised by this point the bookings haven't came. Again, you can't use that
100%.
an excuse, mate, because yes, they're being a wee bit more physical, but none of our guys are stepping up to the mark. And I can have a look across it. Quite frankly, I think Kuhn has been absolutely shocking, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Kuhn's been playing great today at all. He seems very overwhelmed. I've said this before that when he runs up the right hand side, he is very good at creating space, but then he cuts back on his left and he seems to get crowded very, very quickly. So he's kind of fallen apart in that area. Now, if that's the case, despite him being now our best striker, if you will, do you bring Maeda over to the wing?
It's a funny one, and I think when we look at it, we're certainly lacking. I think when I look through here, my notes are predominantly, as I say, it's been panic after panic. Kasper Schmeichel, from a distribution standpoint, has been absolutely horrendous. There's been 2 or 3 times where he's really been the verge of costing us a goal. I think the one with Czerny, he's very, very fortunate that boy doesn't have a right foot, because that's just an easy lobbed ball into the net. He drags that one out.
Even the first goal itself, Schmeichel actually let it go. You've seen him, he's let it go thinking it's going past the post. I'm not being funny, but even if it was going past the post, Tavernier was there. So what's he doing? Get the hand on it, get the fucking ball. It's as simple as that. That is your one job. And I'm being very harsh on Schmeichel there, I know I am, but it's what you're hired to do, is get the ball.
What we have seen, there's been a couple of terrible sort of distribution issues we're letting them in. Predominantly that's been from the goalkeeper. It is what it is. Diamandi, the 2-0, again, it's one of the smallest guys in the park. We're terrible at the old set pieces. He crosses into the box. Raskin heads it on and he gets a decent finish off. In terms of our chances, quite limited. There's a brilliant shot from Hatate. It's destined for the top corner. It's a great save by the keeper to claw it away. And then there's 1 or 2 wee fleeting moments, obviously. We get Jota runs through, side net, and then a couple of chances super late on. Good clearance off the line for Sterling. Maeda gets on the end of it. And then, of course, with the double header situation where there was the Maeda one was cleared, Narotsky gets off the back of the corner. But other than that, mate, we're talking about Celtic's chances being focused into the last 5 minutes.
Aye. Yeah, I know. It's and that's what I was saying. We both said that if they didn't come out the gates and fire them in, that something like this could happen. Don't think we've seen it being as bad as what it has been so far.
Before we jump off then, because the second half's about to come, what does Celtic need to do here, apart from actually start looking and earning their crust as footballers and starting to play and look a bit more composed? Celtic are rattled, and I think for me, we look at the bench, it's desperate. We look at Celtic in general, and they have been rattled. They were rattled at Ibrox, they're rattled here. Can they bounce back? Can they find that? We've got the quality to certainly do it, but we need to start doing it rapidly because
Engels, Hatate, McCowan, they need to run down and lock down that centre and cover Sophie, Diamandi, etc. Because
are you making any changes? Is the manager going to be as bold as that? Is there changes to be made at this stage, mate?
I wouldn't make changes of players. I would make changes of formation. As I say, I would get Kuhn now through the middle and Maeda on the wing. But it looks like we are getting some changes. I've got it here on the background. Looks like Ida is coming on for Kuhn.
Yep, I think that was the most obvious, to be honest with you. I think that's definitely, they're trying to mix it up. So that would mean you're going to be shifting Maeda. So you're probably changing over the wings. You maybe put Maeda down to the left. You're going to change Jota over to the right with the looks of that. But there's a lot of work to be done. The boys are about to come out. Disappointing at this moment in time, mate. But can it only get better? Let's hope so. We'll catch up after the game. Take care of yourselves. Hail, hail. Enjoy the game. Hopefully enjoy the game. See you later.